We'll start just with some breathing practice. Laying down on your backs on the mat. Take a few nice big breaths here. Sigh, yawn out the breath. Make sure your knees are bent. Just tip the pelvis back and forward in some really gentle pelvic rocks as you do. Travel along the lower spine from your tailbone up the sacrum till you bring the small of the back gently in the floor behind the navel, and then you follow the spine back down all the way to the tailbone. So see if you can leave the rib cage fairly steady and just roll the pelvis back and forward. Keep your feet light, your thighs and your buttocks soft. And just feel the abdominals drop down a little bit. Follow that line, each vertebrae till you rest behind the navel, and then roll back down to the tailbone. Pause here, rest your hands onto your belly and breathe in through the nose, right down into the belly, let it rise. And let it relax as you breathe out. Do a couple more of these, and as you do, let the back of the rib cage rest in the floor. And feel that weight of your pelvis resting down towards your tailbone, that feeling of a slight space under your lower back. And then bring your hands up and rest them on the bottom of the rib cage. Keep your belly steady and let the ribs widen out to the sides. And as you breathe out, feel the rib cage close and the bottom ribs reach down towards your hip bones, keeping your spine and your pelvis still. Still that feeling of space under your lower back. Do a couple more of these. Widen the ribs, feel the back of the rib cage heavy in the floor as the breath goes into the back of the rib cage. And then close those ribs just gently in and down without grabbing them or over pulling them in and down. And then take one hand onto the belly, one hand stays on the bottom ribs. So now we're going to come into some more connected breath with abdominals. Belly stays steady, breathe in through the nose, let the rib cage widen. And as you breathe out, the ribs close in and down, draw the belly skin up from the pubic bone to the navel, and it connects to those ribs coming in and down. Your spine still stays still, and same with your pelvis. Let the ribs widen as you inhale. The belly releases slightly, but stays steady. And then as you breathe out, the ribs close in and down as you draw the skin from the pubic bone to the navel, and the bottom ribs reach in and down. Feel those two connecting, as if the belly glides up and under the ribs, and the ribs come over and down towards the pelvis. Just do 3 or 4 more of these. Keep your spine still, your pelvis still, that feeling of space under the lower back. Your buttocks and your thighs stay relaxed. The belly is steady as you breathe in and widen your ribs. And then feel the bottom and the top reaching towards each other. The belly as if it glides in and up, and under those ribs that glide down towards your pelvis. And last one here. Shoulders stay relaxed, so does the jaw, the face. You're just working between the ribs and the pelvis. And then breathe in, bring the right leg up into the air, hold around the thigh or behind the thigh, draw the thigh towards you, and then reach the heel towards the ceiling, bend the leg down. Draw the toes down, reach the heel to the ceiling. Just come into stretch and then release it down. This time coming up, finding the stretch. Hold the leg here and then point the toes away and then draw the toes down. Do that twice more. So leave the shoulders heavy, the back of the rib cage heavy. Draw the toes down. Reach the heel up. Back of the hips are heavy. The foot is light on the floor. And you're resting down towards your tailbone, that feeling of a little bit of space under your lower back. So let's come back to breath. Belly stays steady, breathe in wide to the rib cage. And as you breathe out, the ribs reach in and down as the belly skin draws up, pubic bone to navel, and under those ribs. Belly steadies as you inhale, widen. Keep reaching the heel up, the back of the hips heavy. And then just 2 more breaths here. Let the shoulders relax. You might feel there's a little bit of a shake going on through the sacrum or the pelvis. That's okay. It's just going deep into that nervous system. Then you breathe in, slide the left leg out long, take the arms out to the side. And as you exhale, bring the right leg across, peeling the back of the hip, keep the right shoulder down. And then breathe in, bring the leg to the ceiling, keep both buttocks on the floor, and take the right leg out to the side in a thigh stretch. Bring the leg to the ceiling, breathe in, and just peel the back of the right hip off. You're not going for distance, you're going for alignment more here. Shoulders stay down, leg comes to the ceiling, back of the hip stay on the floor, and the leg opens out to the side. This time, bring the leg up, bring it across to where you feel that stretch through the buttock, and pause here. So keep the leg up in the air at this stage, the shoulders down. As you breathe out, bring your ribs in and down, and glide that belly skin in and up under the ribs. Feel the back of the right rib cage slightly press back and down to the floor as you feel that stretch around through the buttock. The leg can be bent here if you need to. Take 2 more breaths, reach out long through the left leg. And really feel that hollowing of the belly as you drop the skin above the pubic bone to the navel. Those bottom ribs coming down. Bring the leg up to the top. Take your hands onto your hip bones. Keep the back of the hips heavy on the floor and open the leg out to the side. Now, this is hard to hold, so it requires the strength through your abdominals. Ribs down, belly drawing in and up. Bend the leg. So it's at a bent at a 90 at the knee. You just feel the inner thigh stretch. The back of the left hip presses to the floor. It's a really strong breath. Ribs come in and down, belly skin. Drops down above the pubic bone, draws to navel, and in and under those bottom ribs, backwards on the floor. Take 1 more breath here. Only take the leg as wide as you can hold through your torso. Bring the leg to center and lower it down to the floor. Slide it out long as you glide the left leg in. Hip bones nice and even. Bring the leg up, hold around the thigh, or interlink behind. Bring the thigh in. So start to straighten into the leg, reaching the heel to the ceiling, and then bend into the leg. So heel extends as the back of the hip presses down, and then bend. 1 more time, bring it up, back of the hips down, heel extends, find stretch, now point the toes away, and then draw them down towards you. Go back and forward, leave the shoulders heavy, back of the rib cage heavy. Just get that Achilles to stretch and then draw the toes down. The heel reaches up, feel the stretch, back of the thigh just softly presses into the hands. The back of the hips are heavy, hip bones as even as you can. Come to breath now. Belly steady as you widen through your rib cage, back of the ribs, and as you breathe out, draw the belly skin in and up as the ribs come over and down. So as you draw those abdominals in and up, you're connecting in with Uddiyana Bandha. And a bandha means to firm or to wrap. So those abdominals are just drawing in and up, they're wrapping, and they're holding the pelvis and the rib cage together. As you draw up from that pubic bone, you should also feel a subtle lift from the base of the body up. That's Mula Bandha, that's connecting with the pelvic floor muscles. So it's only as much as you can comfortably draw them in and up, find connection with the ribs. And then we're going to take the arms out to the side. This leg can bend as much as you like or towards straight. So you're going to bring it across the body, keep both shoulders down, heel the back of the hip. And then bring the leg to the ceiling, keep back of the hips heavy and open the leg out to the side. It can bend here. Bring the leg to the ceiling, take it across, ribs come in and down, belly skin draws in and up. This is a slight rotation through your pelvis. Bring the leg to the ceiling, keep the back of the hips down and open the leg out to the side, ribs down. Bring the leg to the ceiling. This time I'm going to come across and hold. So peel the back of the hip, Reach long through the leg, out through the sole of the foot. Left shoulder draws down. Find the breath here, ribs come in and down. Draw the belly skin, pubic bone to navel. Bottom ribs, this leg is bent or straight and it's hovering. See how much you can draw. Scoop out that belly from the pubic bone to the navel. And those bottom ribs reach in and down. And then bring the leg back to center. Keep both hips on the floor, the ribs are down, and open the leg out to the side. Bend it to 90 if you need to. So while we're looking to just open up the inner thigh, we're also not going to let go through the torso. So on your exhale, your ribs coming down, you draw up from pubic bone to navel, so you can keep both of the shoulders on the floor and the back of the right hip. So one more breath here. And then breathe in, bring the leg up to the top, and exhale, release it down to the floor. Slide the right leg in, stay with your breath in and out through the nose, just moving that prana around through the body. So you're going to come into a twist here, bring the legs off the floor. Cross the left leg over the right, either loosely or right over, like you're crossing your legs. Bring the legs in towards the chest and roll them over to the right. This time you can let the left shoulder peel off the floor, land the legs, uncross them if you need to and stack them one on top of the other, or hold the top leg if you need to. Right shoulder, if you like, just wriggle it to the right, just a little bit more. Take a breath in here. And as you breathe out, draw the ribs in and down, scoop up through the belly. And see if you can bring this left shoulder and back the left ribs down towards the floor. Your hand can rest on the rib cage if you like, just thinking about pulling it back and down. Or you can take the arm down or out to the side. Come back to your breath here. 3 or 4 more breaths. Breathing in and out through the nose. If you need to breathe out through the mouth, that's fine. Draw in from the pubic bone to the navel and reach those bottom ribs in and down. Start to really play with this in your body. On your inhales, the belly stays steady, and you inhale, and you'll mostly widen into this left side of the rib cage. And then breathing in, bring your legs back through to center. Cross the right one over the left, or just keep them together. Bring them into the chest as far as you can as you come over to the side. And land them on the floor. Right shoulder can come off. You can bring the right arm right across here, as long as you feel the stretch around through your buttock, through that lower back area. So if you've got more there in the body, left shoulder glides across to the left slightly. Take a breath in as you exhale. Scoop through the belly. Bring the ribs in and down. See if you can bring that right shoulder back with the right ribs back down towards the floor. It's like a rotation of your rib cage, and you spiral these right ribs around and back. Just sink into your breath. Find that connection through your belly and your ribs drawing in and down. It's almost like you settle right back into the navel area. As the navel sinks back towards the spine, it draws your whole upper body down and in, instead of flaring the torso out. Sink right back into that center. And then breathing in, release the legs and come back through to center. Come into a butterfly here. Just rock side to side, wriggle around here. So you can almost feel like you're walking the lower back longer down along the floor as you roll from one side to the other. And as you walk it longer, the smaller the back comes deeper into the floor. Eventually pause at center, hands around the knees, the shins, the ankles, or around the feet. Just draw your legs up and towards your head, and then bring them back down, heels to groin. Feet come up and over towards the head, reach your tailbone long, and then bring the heels back down towards the groin. Do that one more time. So as you bring the legs over, reach your tailbone away from you, and then bring them back down. So you can use the elbows into the thighs and press the knees open, and draw the heels down towards the groin. So come back to your breath now. Belly steady, ribs widen as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, draw the belly skin in and up, the ribs down. Belly steadies as you inhale, and as you breathe out, feel those ribs reach in and down, and drag that belly skin, follow it above the pubic bone to the navel. And as you do that, feel the back of the spine or back ribs come heavier into the floor. So if there's a little bit more movement in there for you as you breathe out and those ribs come down, you can press the thighs open and away from you. And open from the groin through the inner thigh to the knee. Heels sink down towards the groin. Find that connection in your torso. That is the most important thing. Take 2 more breaths here. Breathing in and out through the nose if you can, if you need to, out through the mouth. And then breathing in, release the legs, hold the shins or the back of the thighs and come to happy baby. Once again, rock across the spine. And just let the small of the back sink down towards the floor a little more. Pause at center here. Take a breath in, exhale, ribs drawn and down. Belly draws in and up, and knees, if you can, you just press them down towards the floor a little bit more. As you breathe out and find that connection in your rib cage, see if you can lengthen your tailbone down towards the end of the mat. So we're trying to bring the pelvis down so it sits flat on the floor, and you get more stretch around through your buttocks as those sit bones press towards the end of the mat. Feel the back of the ribs sink into the floor, so make sure you're not arcing through the back. 2 more breaths, connecting with belly, rib cage. And then breathing in, release the legs. Stretch them up into the air, roll around the wrists and the ankles. And then around in the other direction. Going to bend the legs down, hold the sides of the thighs, push the legs away, and peel up to sitting. Just going to do a bit of rolling here, just for massage for the spine. So I'm going to start off in a really soft roll, and then we'll start to rock it a little more. You can stay at whatever level works for you. So just going to let the tailbone slide under, roll back, let the feet come off the floor and roll down through the spine. Bring the legs in, and then press them away, peel the head, and roll back up. Let's do that one more time, tail under. Roll down, think about each vertebrae coming down into the floor, and the legs roll all the way in. Press the legs away, peel up through each vertebrae, come all the way up. Stay with that if you like. Otherwise, you're going to sit behind the sit bones, bring the toes off the floor, gaze into the belly and round out the spine. So you keep your gaze on your belly, the head off the floor. Roll through the spine to the shoulders, and roll back up. You can take toes to floor or balance. And you're just going to do 5 or 6 more of those. Keep your gaze on your belly. Then just roll to the shoulders and roll back up. Balance or toes to floor. So see if you can feel each vertebrae. Stay really round like a ball. And massage the spine. 1 more. Come all the way back up. Slide the legs around to the side and come on to the hands and the knees. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Take a breath in. As you exhale, scoop up the belly, ribs reach down, tail down, and a nice smooth rounding of the spine. And then breathe in, tailbone glides out, and the breastbone comes forward. The shoulders go wide. Go from one to the other, really hollowing up. Uddiyana Bandha, ribs reach down, tail glides out. See if you can still keep that connection through the abdominals as you extend in cow pose. So as the tail glides out, you're still drawing the belly skin up. The bottom ribs reach down, but the breastbone comes forward. You feel that upper spine extension. One more. So come down onto the forearms. You're just going to stretch into the triceps, down onto the forearms. This might be enough for you. Just take the hips back and you feel the stretch through the back of the arm. Otherwise, interlink your hands. Take the head down to the floor. If you can't feel enough stretch, just walk your knees back a little bit and then sink the hips back. So either staying here or reaching the elbows forward as you bring the forearms off the floor. Feel the elbows hug in towards your head and the elbows reach long, and then lower the arms back down. If the hands don't lift, it doesn't matter, leave them on the floor. So as you bring the arms up, feel the elbows slightly draw in towards your head or towards the center, and then roll them down. Do one more here. Either leave the hands on the floor or leave them up. You can bring the palms together. Feel like you bring those elbows in towards each other and extend the elbow long. And the back of the arm presses down towards the floor. Find your breath here. Belly steady as you inhale, widen to your rib cage. And as you breathe out, draw up, pubic bone to navel, and the bottom ribs reach in and down towards your hip bones. You feel that beautiful hollow as the belly draws up towards the spine. Hold the belly steady on your inhales. Leave the arms as they are, and just bring your awareness to breath, bandhas, ribs. Take two more here. And then breathing in. Slowly lower the arms down to the floor. Come up onto forearms and back up onto tabletop position. Going to do a little half vinyasa here. So take a breath in. As you exhale, find connection through the belly, bend the elbows, keep them gliding in beside the rib cage. Chest comes down, slide forward. Squeeze your buttocks as you peel to the bottom ribs. Keep rolling those hip bones back, come up to the knees and lift the hips. Take them back to the heels. Breathe in, come back up onto the hands and knees. Find connection through the belly, bend the arms, elbows tucked in beside the chest. Slide forward, squeeze the buttocks, peel the chest, roll those hip bones back as you come up. And the heels, buttocks come back to heels. We're going to come into what we call a broken wing stretch or turn sideways. You're going to lay down onto the bellies. You're going to take the right arm across the front of the chest. The left arm comes over. The stretch is here on the outer side of the right shoulder. So you can square up the shoulders and then sink down. Now, if this feels enough here, you just stay here. If it feels fine, you sink down a little deeper and bring this right arm down towards the floor. If you can't feel it enough, roll over towards your left side. All right, so this left arm is either out long or it's underneath your head or a fist. Forehead can rest down. If there's still more stretch there for you, bring the left arm across. So you cross them both and you rest the head down. We're going to do 3 or 4 more breaths here. So belly steady as you inhale, widen to your ribs. And then as you breathe out, draw the belly skin up from the pubic bone to the navel and reach the ribs in and down without tensing your shoulders or your neck or your head. You just leave the stretch alone. And you find connection through the abdominals, connecting to the ribs. Two more breaths. And then breathe in slowly, untangle from there. Just be gentle, that right shoulder might just take a little bit to release. And then the left arm comes across. So you're either staying here, resting up on the forearms, or you could sink over to the side here and just rest your hand under your head. You can take the arm out long and sink down, bring it under the head, fist down, or cross it across. So you're just looking for the stretch around through the outside of the shoulder. Once you've got it, just pause. Also, option to bring your right leg up and out to the side. So if it's really strong, you can lean over here and the right leg up. Settle into the pose. Your breath is in and out through your nose. Quieten the mind. Go down into the body. Belly steady as you inhale and let your ribs widen with the breathing. And as you breathe out, that belly skin drawing in and up through from the pubic bone and the ribs reaching in and down towards the pelvis. Let the chin relax down. Feel the stretch in the shoulder. Take one more breath here. And then breathing in, slowly release the arms. We're going to go into an open wing stretch. So the right arm comes out to the side, straight out from the shoulder. If that's going to be too much, slide the arm down. Left hand on the floor. You're going to roll onto your right side and bend the knees up. Head rests down. So the stretch now through the front of your shoulder. The left arm can come behind the back. You can even tuck the fingers around under the bottom right ribs and open that left shoulder up to the ceiling. You could take the left leg and glide it back a little, or you can put the left foot on the floor and the knee to the ceiling. You're just looking for the stretch in the front of the shoulder, so stay with the real basic pose to start, if it's enough. These other pieces are all just little extras as your body can open into it. So once again here, find the connection through your torso, keeping the belly steady as you inhale. And as you're breathing out, feel that lift up from the base to the navel and the ribs close and reach down towards the pelvis. So you should find in all the poses when you connect in with this breathing connected to ribs and belly, it starts to release. It brings you into your center and releases your extremities, allows the spine to open, and it holds you connected. One or two more breaths here. And then breathing in, just in your own time, rolling back onto your belly. So slide that right arm in. We're going to slide the left arm out to the side as high or low as you like. Roll towards it. Now, if you go only a little way and that's enough, rest the head and bend the right leg up and just stay here. Otherwise, keep rolling right onto your side as far as you can. Bend the knees up. Take this right arm to the ceiling and reach it back, bend the elbow, take it down. Either just drape it behind the back or slide the fingertips under the ribs. Lift the right shoulder to the ceiling and open it back if that's there for you. Right leg can slide back or the foot on the floor, the knee to the ceiling. Make sure your head is relaxed. Steady the belly, breathe in, let the ribs widen, breathe into the back space. And as you breathe out, lift from pubic bone up to sternum, ribs, reach over and down. We'll do 3 more breaths here. Settle, leave the stretch alone. If it gets too strong, ease out of it slightly, but stay with that breath connection. And then breathing in, release, roll back onto your bellies, and just pause here for a moment. Arms, legs, wherever they're comfortable. Just take a few breaths. Feel the sensations through your shoulders, through your chest maybe. See how far they travel through your body. Coming into locust pose, you're going to take the arms back beside you. Bring the nose just above the floor. Tip your pelvis back, so feel like the tailbone slides back and reaches down towards your toes. Feel like your hip bones draw up towards your ribs. You're going to peel up the chest, leaving the bottom ribs on the floor, reaching them down to the hips, but bring the breastbone forward. Your gaze just goes forward to the front of the mat. The hands lift, reach through the fingers, and widen out those collarbones. Reach through the legs really long. Keep drawing the hip bones up to the ribs and squeeze the back of the thighs to lift the legs. Breathing here. Belly steady. Breath goes into the sides, the back of the ribs. And as you breathe out, draw the bottom ribs in and down. Lift the breastbone forward and reach, draw the skin of the belly in and up. Feel your tailbone reaching really long. So see how much you can connect in with those abdominals. Following them in and up, bottom ribs reach down, but the breastbone stretches forward. One more breath here. And inhale, lower down to the floor. Just rest the head to the side and take a few nice long deep breaths. And then breathe in, bring the hands up beside your rib cage. Tuck your elbows in. Heel up to the bottom ribs. Press those hip bones back as you come up. To an up dog. You're going to pause here. Knees are on the floor. Find that connection through the belly, draw it in and up, ribs down. And then see if you can just take that breastbone slightly forward and the gaze goes straight forward without dropping in the lower back. So really strong through the back, thighs, and the buttocks. That belly skin drawing in and up. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, lift the hips, come up to mountain. Walk the legs. Roll the hips side to side. Breathe. Let some of that go, some of that tension. Come back to center, rise up onto the balls of the feet. Lengthen through your lower spine. As you breathe out, start to scoop up that belly skin, draw the ribs in and down, and lower the heels back and down just enough to feel stretch. Keep length out through the tail. Belly stays steady as you breathe in, and as you exhale, draw in and up through the belly and reach those ribs down to those hips. Feel that hollow right up towards the spine. The elbows, the inner skin of the elbows turns in towards each other. Shoulders down. Take one more breath and then breathe in. Bring the feet to the hands. Hands to shins. Lengthen out nice and long through the spine. Bring the shoulders down and wide. Take a couple of breaths here. Lift that belly in and up as those ribs come. Close and reach down. And then bend the knees. Bring the belly, bottom ribs onto the thighs and fold forward. Take the fingertips onto the floor. Rock forward into the toes and back into the heels. Sink into the center. Relax your shoulders. As you breathe out, draw the belly skin in and up. Reach those ribs. Close them down towards the pelvis. Press the heels down into the floor as you lift the sit bones to the ceiling. Keep working that belly. See if you can feel it. Drop in above the pubic bone, into the navel. The ribs reaching down. Then come all the way to stand. Pull the tailbone down, scoop up through the belly. Keep those ribs in and down as you take the arms up to the ceiling and exhale. Flow them down. Beautiful. We're going to lift the left foot as you breathe in. And exhale, step it out deep. Come around to face the side. Right foot's turned out, left foot's turned in. So we're going to take the arms out to the side, cross the right arm over the left, bend at the elbows. Turn and catch the fingers or the left palm. Fingers come onto the right palm. Reach the elbows out and up as the shoulders come down and wide. And I'm going to bend the right knee into warrior two. Press the outer side, outer edge of the right thigh back. And up, the torso over. Find your breath here. Draw the belly skin in and up as the ribs reach over and down towards those hip bones. Keep pressing the outer thigh, outside of the right thigh out. And then breathe and come back to center and straighten into that left leg. Release the arms, relax the shoulders, come down to warrior two. And come into a reverse warrior. So sink the arm down in its socket. Instead of the shoulder being up here, shoulder comes down in its socket. And then stretch through the waist and the ribs. Keep the shoulder down, but extend through the arm. See if you can lift those waist and ribs out of the pelvis, outer side of the foot down, and this knee presses back, hollow through the belly, and those ribs reach in and down. Take a breath in, and exhale, sweep the arms up and over, down to the floor. Come down onto the left knee, and take the right knee back, breathe in. Exhale, scoop through the belly as you press, elbows beside the rib cage. Slide forward, squeeze the buttocks, roll those hip bones back to your up dog, and buttocks come back to heels. Take a nice deep stretch here. Chin slightly down to chest, lengthen through the back of the neck, through the base of the skull, and reach the tailback behind you. And then breathe in, come up onto the hands and knees, tuck the toes, and lift up to mountain. Rise on the balls of the feet, breathing in, and as you breathe out, lengthen tailbone, hollow through the belly, and reach the wrist down towards those hip bones. And then breathe in, bring the feet to the hands, hands to shins, long spine, bring those shoulders down and wide. And then forward fold, bend the knees, roll the belly and the hip bones to the thighs. Tailbone goes down, scoop through the belly as you breathe in. Ribs down as you come to stand, and exhale, flow the arms down. So we're going to breathe in, lift the right foot, and step it back deep. Right foot's turned in, left foot out. So bring the arms to the side, cross the left arm over the right, bend at the elbows. Right fingertips onto the left palm, or just catch the fingers. Reach the elbows out and up as the shoulders come down and wide. So bending into the left knee. Press the outer edge of the left thigh out and the outer edge of the right foot down. Feel your thigh muscles wrap around your thigh bones. Draw the belly skin in and up as the ribs come in and down, and then up over to the side. Stay with that breath and connection through your torso. So the ribs come in and down rather than popping out. Legs nice and strong. And then breathe and stack back up through the spine. Release the arms, straighten into the leg for a moment. Relax your shoulders and then sink down back into warrior two. Come into reverse warrior. Bring this left arm up. Now your shoulder, sink it down. Drop the arm into the socket. And then lift through the waist and the ribs out of the pelvis. Keep the legs nice and strong. The outer edge of your right foot down. Find connection here. Through the abdominals, through the ribs, breathe in and out through the nose. Press the outside of the left thigh out. And then breathe in. Come back through to warrior two and exhale. Hands come over and down to the floor. Step back and knees down. Breathe in. Draw up through the belly as you press. Inhale. Up dog, stay connected. And come back to child's pose. Sink back deep. You can bring the arms back beside you or under your head, or sink the armpits down to the floor. Follow up through the belly, reach the ribs down, and reach up through the tailbone. Breathe in, come up onto the hands and knees. Tuck the toes and lift to mountain. Breathe in and exhale, scoop through the belly. Ribs reach down, stretch from the ball of the foot to the heel. Taking the heels back down towards the floor. Reach out through your tailbone, stretch that lower spine. And then breathing in, bring feet to the hands to shins. Widen your shoulders as you stretch the spine long, reaching through the base of the skull. Follow the tummies as you forward fold. Stay here, take the right hand around the left shin. Take the left hand onto the waist or the hip. Follow through the belly, ribs down, and then twist the rib cage. So if this feels fine, you can extend this left arm up, otherwise just leave it here. Focus on hollowing through that belly, ribs reach down, rib cage twists. And then breathe and come back to center. Legs are as bent as you need. Left hand around the right shin or ankle, right hand on the hip. Follow through the abdominals. Twist the rib cage. Feel like this left shoulder comes down into its socket and then presses forward with the ribs. Right arm can go to the ceiling if you like. Draw those ribs in and down. Keep this left shoulder down in its socket and pressing forward. Lift through the navel. Take one more breath. And exhale back to center. Draw the tailbone down and breathe in. Slowly sink your way up through the spine. Take the arms wide all the way to the top and exhale. Draw them and down. All right, so we're going to breathe in. Lift the left foot. Step it out to the side so the legs are wide. I'm just going to turn the other way so you can see what's happening with the arms. So the arms are going to come out to the side. Going to bring them in behind and to link them. Widen across the front of the chest. And then reach them as long as you can. Take a breath in as you breathe out. Draw the ribs in and down. Lift through the belly and extend the arms away. So you want to feel the shoulder blades draw into the spine and down towards their opposite hip. The ribs are reaching down and the chest is really wide. So from here, the arms stay like that. You're going to turn the right foot out again, left toes turn in. Bend into warrior, two legs. And then arc over, reach out through the hands. Draw up and in through the belly. Keep wide through the chest. Shoulder blades towards the spine and down towards the buttocks. If this feels too strong, just a straight leg and arc over. And then breathe and come all the way up. Let the arms relax. Smooth those shoulders forward and back. We can do it on the other side. Right foot turns in, left foot turns out. So blades squeeze towards the spine, down towards the opposite hip. That might be enough. Otherwise, extend the arms away. Breathe out. Scoop up through the belly. Ribs drawn in down. Bend into the left leg. And press the thigh open. If the knee's falling into center, come up higher to where you can press that thigh bone out. Head connection. Ribs in and down. Scooping up through the belly. Arc over. Come back to a straight leg if you need to. Reach through the arms, or just let them rest on the back and squeeze the blades in and down through the spine. One more breath here. And breathe and come all the way up, straight into the leg, and bring the feet back to parallel. Just let the hands go and give the shoulders a roll. And roll them back the other way. Soften into the knees. Fold forward, hands come down under the shoulders. We're going to bend the right knee forward or one knee forward. Walk the hands over towards that foot. So the knee's coming forward, the tail back, and the spine is nice and long. The outer edge of your straight leg foot goes down towards the floor. Feel the inner thigh stretch. Take two more connected breaths here. Lifting through the belly and the ribs. Reach in and down towards your hip bones. The neck is long, reaching through the base of the skull. And then breathe in, straighten into that leg. Walk the hands across as you bend the neck forward. So your spine, your crown and your tailbone are in a line. And your torso is parallel to the floor. As you breathe out, find that connection through your abdominals. The ribs come down, the neck is nice and long. Feel the back of the heart pressing up towards the ceiling. And that outer edge of the left foot into the floor. Take 2 more breaths here. And breathe in. Walk your hands back to center. Soften the knees, fold forward. So the hands either come back under your shoulders, elbows soften, knees can stay bent, torso hangs. If this feels really comfortable for you to hold, you can take the hands around the ankles. Relax your shoulders, your neck, your head. Come back to your breath. And then lift those sit bones to the ceiling as the spine hangs down through the center. Still finding that draw in and up through the belly and the ribs reaching down towards the hip bones. And then breathing in. Take the hands back onto the floor, soften into the knees, and slowly start to stand up, pulling the tailbone down, coming all the way to stand, and roll the shoulders back and down. Bring the shoulders forward and up, glide the blades to the spine and down. Bring the shoulders to center and go the other way. Blades go to the spine, glide up, the shoulders come over and down. Blades go into the spine, glide up, and then over and down. Great, take the arms out to the side, turn the right foot out, the left foot turns in, breathe in and exhale. Sink down into warrior 2, just pause for a breath here, draw up through the belly, ribs reach in and down, and exhale, sweep the arms over down to the floor, step back to plank, or come back to knees. And if you exhale, press, breathe in through your up dog, pressing those hip bones back, lift, and take the buttocks back to the heels. Breathe in, come back up onto your hands and knees, and as you breathe out, then you're going to sleeping swan. Bring the right knee up towards the right wrist. The right foot just comes across in front of your left knee, and then the left leg slides back. You can take a breath in here, and as you exhale, scoop through the belly and glide the leg forward. And exhale, glide it back. Hollow through the belly, ribs down as you drag it forward. And slide it back. Bring the tailbone down towards the floor. Hollow up through the belly. Bring the ribs down towards those hip bones. And then bring that breastbone forward. Without hopping the ribs. So the bottom ribs sink down, the breastbone comes forward, and the belly's hollowed in. Squeeze that left buttock and press the front of your left hip forward and pull that tailbone down. Find that connection through your breathing, abdominals, ribs. And then come into sleeping swan. Start to fold down. You can rest on the hands or the forearms, 2 fists under the head, or take the head down onto the hands. Just roll the hips side to side slightly. So you're rolling the pelvis over the ball and the hip socket. Pause, just centering up those hip bones as much as you can. Let that right sit bone sink through the buttock. Breath still in and out through the nose. And then as you're breathing out, scoop in and up through the belly. Reach the bottom ribs in and down towards the pelvis. And then breathing in, coming up onto the hands, Sliding back onto the knees, just a little bit of vinyasa in between, breathe in. Exhale, lift the navel, keep the elbows in close as you take the chest down, slide forward. Squeeze the buttocks, peel up, roll those hip bones back. And take the buttocks back to the heel. Breathe in, come back up onto the hands and the knees. And slide the left leg up towards your left hand. The foot swings across the front of the thigh. Slide back through your right leg. Take a breath in and exhale. Scoot through those abdominals and slide the leg forward. Glide it back. Feel like the belly lifts you up. Really lift that navel towards the spine. And this time glide back and hold. Sink into your left sit bone. So take a breath in, belly steady as you breathe out. Ribs draw in and down. Belly scoops in and up. And the breastbone starts to reach forward. It's almost like you widen the collarbones. Breastbone reaches forward as those bottom ribs reach down towards your hip bones. Front of the right hip presses forward and the tail pulls down towards the floor. Keep stretching and opening the whole of the top of the chest. And then down into sleeping strong, coming down, left sit bone, presses through the buttock. Rest wherever it works for you. Roll side to side. Pelvis rolling over the ball and the hip socket. You know, more stretch in that butt muscle. And then pause and breathe. And then breathing in. Just slowly bring yourself up. So we're going to take that right leg and bring it forward. Come through to sit. We'll finish with a couple of twists. And then we'll go into some Shavasana. So legs out long, bring the right leg in. And we're just going to not cross it over today. We're going to bring the heel as close to the sit bone as you can. It doesn't have to be right connected. Right arm goes behind. Take a breath in. Grow the spine tall as you pull the sit bones down and then close through the belly. The ribs reach in and down as you twist. This leg, you can pull across your center a little bit and bring these left ribs around to meet them. Arm wraps or just hold with the hand, or you can bring the arm puffs. Widen your shoulders. Grow your spine tall. And as you breathe out, same breathing. Belly skin draws in and up. Ribs reach down. Should give you a little more space to then twist your rib cage. Feel the left sit bone reaching down towards the floor. Widen out through the collarbones, especially that right one. Feel the pull of the fascia off that lumbar spine area, around over those left ribs and wide through the right chest. And breathe in, slowly unwind back through the center. Release that leg out, slide the other leg in. It can be right out here or it can be in close. Left hand goes behind, breathe in. Exhale, scoop through the belly, the ribs down, twist the torso, lean back maybe slightly. Bring the thigh across and bring your right ribs across a little more. Widen through your shoulders. Find that length in your spine. Feel those sit bones reach to the floor. And then scoop through the belly. Bring the ribs down. Turn your rib cage. Feel that stretch from the right lower back around through the waist and then up and over those back right ribs. And breathe in, slowly unwind back through the center. Leave the legs bent, which is still a little boat pose before you roll down. So toes on the floor or feet. You can just lift 2 toes if you like. So you breathe in here Exhale, scoop up through the belly, connect the ribs down towards the hip bones. Balance behind the sit bones, keep that connection as you raise the toes. Stay here if you like, or bring the legs as high as you like. As the legs come up, keep reaching those ribs in and down. Breastbone can lift, but don't pop those lower ribs. Pause where it works for you, keep working through the torso. Scoop, pubic bone to navel. Ribs reach down towards your pelvis. The shoulders go wide. Breastbone slightly lifts. And then lower the legs down. Slide them out long. We're coming to relaxation. If you need another layer on, just grab it before you roll down. Press the shoulders back in their sockets. And then slide the tailbone under. And slowly roll down to the floor. As much as you can, each vertebrae. One at a time along the floor. Take a nice, long, deep breath. Sigh, yawn the breath out. Feel free to relax with the knee bent, just to relax the lower back, the psoas muscle. Feel the shoulders wide, the back of the rib cage. Just settle down into the floor. The pelvis relaxes towards the tailbone. There's that little feeling of softness under the lower back. Close the eyes, relax the skin of the face. Jawbone relaxes, the tongue softens. Start to feel the breath like a wave or a rhythm through your body. Become really soft, your bones become heavy, and all of your muscles relax off those bones. Just taking a few more breaths here, feeling how the body has become really soft and relaxed, absorbing all that breath work, all the stretching, the movement, the strengthening. And then slowly start to breathe a little deeper, bringing the breath right down into the bowl of the pelvis and filling up through the torso. That soft flow of the breath out, body relaxing. One more time here. As wide and full as you can, right into the back of the rib cage. And relax as you breathe it out. Start to just move into your body, toes, fingers wriggling, stretch out of your knee, but bring the legs in. Gentle rock side to side. And when you're ready, with bent legs, roll to your side. Use your hands on the floor to slowly bring yourself back up to sitting. Sit really comfortably. Just take a moment to feel through the space of your body, your shoulders, your neck, your head, your spine. Just subtle movement, allowing for any clicks or pops. Pause at center. Breathe from the tailbone up through the spine to the crown, briefly pausing, and back down to the tailbone, briefly pausing. Step right back into your buttocks. Let your ribs sink back over your hip bones. Let your shoulders sink down and widen. And then breathe in. Take the arms wide enough. Sink the arms down into the shoulder sockets. Bring the palms together and exhale down through the midline. Make a little bow into your body. Take a moment, fill up your heart space with gratitude and love, and just feel blessed to be in this body, on this planet, at this time, connected with each other, and acknowledging each other in this virtual space, coming forward. Namaste. Take the hands to the floor, connect and ground down to the planet that you live on. Take some deep breaths, open your eyes, and when you're ready, feeling really present, grounded, slowly step your way up through the spine. Just pause to breathe here, connect in with your surroundings, feel really present back into your body and into the space that you're in, letting your thoughts filter in to your day.